Ladies and gentlemen, tennis fans across the globe, and to our massive community tuning in from the Philippines and beyond, welcome to today's broadcast. The world of sports is an unpredictable, magnificent beast. It is a theater of dreams, a coliseum where legends are forged in the fires of competition, and a stage where every single day, history is written with the swing of a racket. We have seen champions come and go. We have witnessed absolute dynasties, eras dominated by the relentless brilliance of icons who have etched their names into the very foundation of the sport. We talk about the titans, the world number ones, the Grand Slam collectors, the players whose trophy cabinets are bursting at the seams with silver and gold. But today, we are not just talking about trophies. We are not just looking at the cold, hard numbers of a ranking system. We are talking about a phenomenon. We are talking about a seismic shift in the cultural landscape of professional tennis, a movement that transcends the sport itself and bleeds into the realm of global superstardom. The title of today's deep dive says it all. The whole world shouts. Alexandra Ela is the main attraction of the WTA. Why is she more famous than the champions? Yes, you heard that right. This is the burning question echoing to the corridors of stadiums from Roland Garros to Wimbledon, from the hard courts of Flushing Meadows to the blistering heat of the Australian Open. Why is a 20-year-old from the Philippines commanding more attention, generating more social media buzz, and drawing more passionate crowds than some of the most established Grand Slam winners on the tour today? How has Alexandra Ela, affectionately known to millions simply as Alex, managed to turn the Women's Tennis Association upside down, capturing the imagination of a global audience and becoming the undeniable heartbeat of modern tennis? This is the breaking news that is dominating the airwaves. This is the story that is capturing headlines. Alex Ela is not just playing tennis. She is redefining what it means to be a global sporting icon in the 21st century. Let us set the stage and look at the sheer magnitude of this breaking news. In recent months, specifically peaking in the spring of 2026, the metrics surrounding Alexandra Ela have shattered all preconceived notions of popularity in women's tennis. While the traditional champions, the top 10 stalwarts, continue to battle for the elite crowns, whenever Ela steps on the court, the atmosphere fundamentally shifts. Broadcasters are reporting unprecedented spikes in viewership. Tournament organizers are witnessing massive surges in ticket sales whenever her name is on the schedule. Digital platforms are melting down under the weight of engagement, hashtags, and viral clips showcasing her lethal left-handed forehand and her unwavering fighting spirit. She recently achieved a career-high WTA singles ranking of world number 29, making her, by an absolute country mile, the highest-ranked Filipino player in the entire history of the WTA Tour. But let me be entirely clear. Being ranked 29th or hovering around the top 40, as she currently does not typically equate to being the main attraction of a global sporting tour. Usually, that spotlight is reserved strictly for the top 3, the defending major champions, the absolute apex predators of the rankings. Yet, Ela has completely bypassed that traditional hierarchy. She has shattered the glass ceiling of fame. We are looking at a situation where a player who is still fiercely battling her way up the rankings is simultaneously overshadowing the very women who occupy the summit. When she reached the semifinals of the WTA 1000 in Miami in 2025, defeating top 10 juggernauts like Iga Swiatek and Madison Keys, it wasn't just a victory. It was a global event. It was a cultural moment. The sheer volume of support pouring in from the Philippines, a nation of over 115 million, incredibly passionate, ferociously loyal citizens, created a digital earthquake. And it is not just her home country. The diaspora of Filipinos around the world, combined with international fans captivated by her relentless work ethic, her training pedigree at the prestigious Rafa Nadal Academy, and her sheer undeniable charisma, have formed an army of supporters that makes the fan bases of traditional champions look modest in comparison. This is the hook, my friends. This is why the sporting world is completely mesmerized. We are witnessing the birth of a megastar whose fame is not solely dictated by the computer points next to her name, but by the emotional connection she has forged with millions of people. She is the ultimate underdog story, a beacon of hope for a nation that has never historically been a powerhouse in tennis, and a testament to the power of representation. Why is she more famous than the champions? Because she represents something bigger than tennis. She represents the dreams of an entire archipelago. She represents a triumph of hard work over geographical sporting disadvantages. She represents a new era where a player's impact is measured not just in titles, but in the heart she inspires and the barriers she breaks. This is a phenomenon we are dissecting today. This is the unvarnished, extensive truth about the Alexandra Ela revolution. Buckle up, because we are about to dive deep into the extraordinary journey, the incredible impact, and the undeniable reality of why the whole world is shouting her name. We must now transition into the core of this analysis, peeling back the layers of this incredible story to truly understand the anatomy of a global superstar. To comprehend why Alexandra Ela is currently the main attraction of the Women's Tennis Association, we have to start at the very beginning and trace the trajectory of a career that defies all conventional logic. Tennis, historically, has been dominated by a select few nations. We look at the United States, Russia, the Czech Republic, Spain, France, and Australia. These countries possess deeply ingrained tennis cultures, massive federations with endless resources, countless clay and hard courts dotting every neighborhood, and a pipeline of talent that is nurtured from the moment a child can hold a racket. The Philippines, conversely, is a nation whose sporting heart beats to the rhythm of basketball and boxing. It is a country that idolizes the hardwood and the boxing ring. For a young girl from Manila to dream of conquering the elite, aristocratic world of professional tennis is not just an uphill battle. It is akin to scaling Mount Everest without oxygen. Yet, from a very young age, Alexandra Ela exhibited a fire, a precocious talent, and an unwavering discipline that immediately set her apart. She wasn't just good for her local club. She possessed a raw, unyielding potential that demanded the world's attention. Recognizing this extraordinary gift, her family made immense sacrifices, a narrative so common among great athletes, but rarely executed with such high stakes. Her talent caught the eye of the scouts, and eventually, the legendary Rafael Nadal. Imagine that. The king of clay, one of the greatest athletes in human history, seeing something so profound in this young Filipina that he welcomed her into the elite ranks of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. This was a turning point. This was the moment the world first started to whisper the name Alex Ela. Training at the Rafa Nadal Academy is not for the faint of heart. It is a crucible of sweat, grit, and relentless perfectionism. It is where the Spanish ethos of suffering on the court, of chasing down every single ball as if your life depended on it, is instilled into the very DNA of the players. Ela absorbed this. She took the fiery passion of her Filipino heritage and married it to the tactical brilliance and physical endurance of the Spanish tennis philosophy. We saw the first major fruits of this labor on the junior circuit. When she won the 2022 U.S. Open Girls Singles Championship, it was a watershed moment. She didn't just win a trophy. She broke a historical barrier, becoming the first Filipino Grand Slam junior champion. The images of her collapsing on the hard courts of New York, overcome with emotion, instantly became iconic. In that moment, an entire nation realized they had a true, legitimate contender on the world stage. But junior success does not always translate to professional ranks. We have seen countless junior prodigies crumble under the intense pressure, the physicality, and the brutal week-in, week-out grind of the WTA Tour. This is where Ela's story elevates from a promising prospect to a global phenomenon. Her transition to the pros was marked by a steady, calculated, and often grueling ascent. She grinded out victories on the ITF circuit, the minor leagues of tennis, far from the glamorous stadiums and the television cameras. She learned how to win ugly, how to manage her body, and how to face fully grown, seasoned professionals who were desperate to defend their livelihoods against this rising teenage star. Every victory, no matter how small, was celebrated by her growing legion of fans. Every defeat was analyzed, absorbed, and used as fuel for the next tournament. Then came the breakout season. The year 2025 will forever be etched in the annals of Philippine sports history. Arriving at the WTA 1000 event in Miami as a wild card, ranked outside the top 100, nobody expected her to make a deep run. Miami is one of the biggest tournaments outside the 4 Grand Slams, featuring every top player on the planet. But Ela, armed with her devastating lefty ground strokes and a mental toughness that belied her age, tore through the draw. The tennis world stopped and stared as she dismantled established veterans. But the absolute shockwave came when she defeated top 10 players, including a monumental victory over Madison Keys, an absolutely earth-shattering win against the world number 2, IGA Swiatek. Defeating Swiatek, a multi-time Grand Slam champion and a generational talent, was a moment the whispers turned into a deafening roar. Ela reached the semifinals, making history by becoming the first player from the Philippines to reach the Final Four of a WTA 1000 event and rocketing into the top 100 for the first time in her career. This meteoric rise is the foundation of her current fame. It proved to the world that the hype was real. But let us delve deeper into the specific reasons why she is considered more famous and a bigger attraction than many of the players ranked above her. The first and most undeniable factor is the sheer demographic power of the Philippines. Filipinos are known globally for their intense, almost fanatical support of their compatriots on the international stage. When a Filipino athlete competes, the entire nation stops. We have seen it with Manny Pacquiao in boxing. The streets of Manila literally empty out during his fights. Crime rates plummet to zero. The entire country holds its collective breath. We are now seeing the exact same phenomenon with Alexandra Ela. Whenever she plays, regardless of time zone, millions of Filipinos are glued to their screens. They are waking up at 3 a.m. to watch her compete in European clay court tournaments. They are organizing watch parties. They are dominating the digital conversation. If you look at any social media post from the WTA featuring Alex Ela, the engagement metrics are absolutely staggering. The comment sections are flooded with Philippine flags. The number of likes, shares, and retweets dwarfs the engagement generated by posts featuring the world number 1 or number 2. The WTA, a global entertainment entity, recognizes this. They understand that featuring Ela drives traffic, boosts viewership, and expands her footprint in the massive, highly lucrative Asian market. She is a one-woman economic engine for the sport in Southeast Asia. This level of dedicated, coordinated, and passionate fandom is something that very few champions from traditional tennis nations can claim to possess. A champion from the United States might have a large fan base, but is often diluted among countless other sports and superstars. Ela holds the undivided sporting attention of an entire nation. Secondly, we must analyze the Rafa factor. Being intimately associated with Rafael Nadal is a golden ticket in the tennis world. Nadal is not just a player. He is a global brand, an icon of sportsmanship, humility, and supreme athletic achievement. By taking Ela under his wing at his academy, Nadal implicitly stamped his seal of approval on her. He told the world, "This girl has what it takes." The millions of dedicated Rafael Nadal fans worldwide naturally adopted Ela as one of their own. They follow her progress. They cheer for her victories. And they see echoes of their hero in her left-handed baseline game and her fighting spirit. This cross-pollination of fan bases has given Ela an international appeal that extends far beyond her home country. She is viewed as the prodigy of the ultimate warrior of the sport, and that narrative is incredibly compelling. When she gives interviews and says, "Anything I can take from Rafa, I'll take with pride," the media eats it up. It is a brilliant organic storyline that connects the past, present, and future of tennis. Furthermore, let us examine her playing style and on-court persona. Alexandra Ela is electrifying to watch. She is not a robotic baseline basher. She possesses a highly intelligent, aggressive, and varied game. Being a left-hander gives her an immediate tactical advantage, creating awkward angles and spins that traditional right-handed players struggle to defend. Her forehand is a weapon of mass destruction, capable of dictating play from any position on the court. But beyond her physical tools, it is her emotional resonance that captivates audiences. She wears her heart on her sleeve. You can see the intense focus in her eyes, the sheer determination etched on her face when she is down a break point. She pumps her fist. She yells. She connects with the crowd. In an era where some players can seem stoic or emotionally detached, Ela is a firecracker. People do not just want to watch perfect tennis. They want to watch human drama. They want to invest emotionally in the struggle, the triumphs, and the heartbreaking defeats. Ela provides that drama in spades. She makes you care. And when a player makes the audience care, they transcend the sport. Let us also discuss the immense pressure she carries and how gracefully she handles it. Imagine being 20 years old and carrying the sporting hopes of over 100 million people on your shoulders every single time you step onto the court. The weight of that expectation could crush a lesser athlete. It could lead to paralyzing anxiety and a catastrophic drop in performance. Yet, Ela seems to thrive on it. She embraces her role as a national icon. She speaks eloquently about her desire to inspire the next generation of Filipino athletes. She is articulate, humble, and fiercely intelligent off the court, making her an absolute dream for sponsors and marketers. Brands are clamoring to associate themselves with her because she embodies the values of hard work, perseverance, and international success. She is a role model in the truest sense of the word, projecting an image of youthful vitality and uncompromising ambition. We must also look at her versatility. It is not just about singles. Ela is proving to be a formidable force in doubles, further expanding her visibility and match time. By teaming up with other rising stars, like Canadian sensation Victoria Mboko for the 2026 French Open, or partnering with established players, she is constantly in the mix, constantly on the schedule, and constantly providing her fans with reasons to tune in. Her recent rise to a career-high doubles ranking of number 88, alongside her impressive singles ranking, proves that she is a complete player dedicated to maximizing her presence and impact on the tour. Every match she plays, whether in singles or doubles, is a major event. The contrast between her fame and the fame of established champions is a fascinating study in modern sports dynamics. A player might win a Grand Slam, hold up the trophy, and secure their place in history. But do they capture the daily, relentless, obsessive attention of the digital world? Do they have an entire nation setting their alarms for the middle of the night just to watch a first-round match in a tune-up tournament? Often the answer is no. Fame in the modern era is driven by narrative, engagement, and representation. Ela's narrative, the girl from the Philippines who conquered the tennis world, is a cinematic masterpiece writing itself in real time. It is the ultimate David versus Goliath story, playing out on the pristine lawns of Wimbledon and the crushed red brick of Roland Garros as we look at her achievements up to this point in 2026, peaking at world number 29 in March. We are witnessing the consolidation of a superstar. She is no longer just a promising junior. She is an established, terrifying force on the main tour. Her consistency is improving, her physical conditioning is reaching elite levels, and her tactical acumen, honed by the brilliant minds at the Rafa Nadal Academy, is becoming sharper with every single match. The establishment is terrified of her. The top 10 players know that when they draw Alex Ela in a tournament, they are not just playing a highly skilled opponent. They are playing against a tidal wave of momentum and a stadium that will likely be heavily favoring the Filipina phenom. This is a reality of the WTA Tour today. The whole world is indeed shouting. The traditional power structures are being challenged by the sheer force of will of a 20-year-old from Manila. She is the main attraction because she brings an unprecedented level of passion, drama, and demographic power to the sport. She is more famous than the champions because she means more to her fans than just a successful athlete. She is a symbol. She is proof that no matter where you come from, no matter how steep the odds, with enough talent, discipline, and an unbreakable spirit, you can command the attention of the entire world. The Alexandra Ela story is not just a tennis story. It is a global cultural event, and we are privileged to witness every single thrilling chapter. As we bring this extensive deep dive to a close, it is crucial to step back and fully absorb the magnitude of what we are witnessing. We have explored the incredible journey of Alexandra Ela, from the courts of the Philippines to the elite training grounds of Spain, and onto the biggest, most unforgiving stages of professional tennis. We have dissected the mechanics of her fame, analyzing the ferocious loyalty of the Filipino people, the immense global reach of the Rafa Nadal connection, and the electrifying, deeply emotional brand of tennis she brings to the court. We have answered the provocative question of why a player outside the top 10 can arguably command more attention, generate more media frenzy, and capture more hearts than the champions who hold the prestigious trophies. The conclusion is inescapable. Alexandra Ela has transcended the traditional metrics of success in sports. Yes, the rankings matter. Yes, the titles are important. And there is no doubt that her ultimate goal is to hold aloft a Grand Slam trophy. But what she has already achieved is something far rarer. She has created a movement. She has single-handedly forced the global tennis establishment to recognize and respect a nation that was previously a footnote in the history of the sport. She has proven that true superstardom in the 21st century is forged in the fires of authentic connection. It is about inspiring a young girl in Manila to pick up a racket. It is about bringing an entire nation to a standstill, united in hope and national pride. When the whole world shouts her name, they are not just cheering for a forehand winner. They are cheering for the audacity of a dream. They are celebrating the relentless pursuit of excellence against all odds. The Women's Tennis Association is incredibly fortunate to have a main attraction like Alexandra Eala. She brings a fresh, vibrant, and fiercely passionate energy to the tour, an energy that is absolutely vital for continued growth and global relevance of the sport. The champions will always have their place in the record books. Their names will be engraved in silver. But Alexandra Eala's name is currently being etched into the collective consciousness of millions. This is not the end of the story. This is merely the end of the beginning. At 20 years old, her potential remains boundless. The ceiling for her career has not yet been defined. Every tournament she enters, every match she plays, is an opportunity to write another historic chapter. So, to the fans who wake up in the dark to watch her play, to the millions who flood social media with their support, and to the tennis world that is watching in awe, keep shouting, keep watching, because the Alexandra Ela era has arrived, and it is the most captivating, thrilling, and undeniably brilliant show in all of sports today. Thank you for joining me for this deep dive. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and we will see you next time as we continue to track the incredible rise of the Filipina phenom.